What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Johnny, and welcome to the Man Cave, where it's real talk, sports talk, 24/7. We speak passion, we keep it 100, and we have fun while we're doing it. So right now, we're going to get into some football talk because we're going to talk about my Jets because this weekend is the Battle of New York City. I'm excited about it. I know a lot of fans are excited about it. There are many, many Giant fans that I know that are personal friends of mine who are really, really obnoxious. So this is personally a game that I look forward to because my hopes is that the Jets will beat the Giants and I could talk a little bit of trash, after the game. But either way, it's going to be a really, really good game. Weeks ago, I don't think anybody anticipated this game being a good game. But the Giants are playing really, really well. The Jets are playing pretty good, coming off a big win off the Eagles a couple weeks ago, which nobody saw coming, including me. They are coming off a bye week, so they should be well rested. Game plan should be intact to be able to go out there and execute. But with the Jets, you never know. You just never know, just keeping it real. But the Giants, the last 2 weeks have been playing really, really good, sound football. One could argue 2 weeks ago that they should have beaten the Buffalo Bills if it wasn't for a questionable call at the end. And then last week, a pretty impressive win from start to finish against the Commanders. Doing it with their backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, which in my opinion is playing really, really good football. Daniel Jones has been pretty shaky, the first few weeks of the season with only 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But Tyrod Taylor gives them a different element. He's a veteran quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over, who moves well in the pocket, and is very, very efficient. So it seems like the offense is moving a little bit more fluidly. They're playing more with a pace. And for the first time, all season, they put the ball in the end zone last week against the Commanders. So they're coming off coming off a high, win. And then obviously we're coming to town, which technically we're not. I mean, the game's at MetLife Stadium. The Giants are considered the home team, but again, the crowd will be mixed with both Giant and Jet fans, and it's always a fun and loud atmosphere. The players will probably tell you that this is another game for them, but realistically, they know the deal. This game is for bragging rights. They know it, and I'm sure they're going to go out there and play as such. And it's usually a very, very close, hard-fought game. These Giant Jet regular season games. They haven't played a lot in their history, but when they do, they usually put on a really, really good game in the process. But let's get into it because I know that, like I just said, Tyrod Taylor is going to be the quarterback on Sunday. They've ruled Daniel Jones out with the neck injury, so this will be the third game that Tyrod Taylor is at the helm. And like I said earlier, he gives them a different element. Very, very efficient, doesn't turn the ball over. For his career, has usually been pretty smart with the football, and he's shown that the last couple weeks. But the key to this game, in my opinion, is the Jet defense. We're getting a huge boost as well. Sauce Gardner is coming back from injury. He'll be playing. DJ Reed will also be playing. I believe Echols is going to be active as well. So those are our 3 best corners, which were out against the Eagles, and much props to the corners that went out there and performed against the Eagles. Guys basically from our practice squad that stepped in and did the job and played really, really good football, on the defensive side of the field. But we got our starters back, and people that have watched this team know that this Jet defense is for real. They're a top defense. They're a championship caliber defense. Our issue is our offense, not being able to put the ball in the end zone. And I think that's going to be the key. Zach Wilson has been playing much better the last few weeks, starting from that Chief game, about 3 weeks ago. And he's not turning the ball over, and that's the key. And that's what's enabling us to be able to play close games against these really, really tough teams and ultimately pull out victories because he's not doing anything to kill us. Now, he's not doing anything to really carry us on the offensive side. Again, we've been very, very stagnant in the red zone. We have been able to move the ball between the 20s, but once we get into that area is where we usually stall And thank God we got a reliable field goal kicker, because Greg DeLeg has probably been our best player on offense, aside from Brees and Garrett Wilson. But the key to this game is going to be the defense. Again, I think this team will go as far as the defense takes them. And if Zach doesn't do anything to hurt us and turn the ball over, I think that the Jets have a really, really good chance to win this game. Offensively, the Giants are 32nd in the league. They're only averaging 12.1 points a game. And although the Jets, like I said, have not been great offensively, they're averaging almost 19 points a game. That's 22nd in the league. So, not good by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly better than the Giants. And then defensively, we've allowed a little bit over 19 points a game, which is 13th in the league, and the Giants have allowed almost 25 points a game. So the key here is to keep the Giants where they usually are, or what they average points per game, which is about the 12, 13 point range. If we can do that and not turn the ball over and kill ourselves offensively, I think we have a really, really good shot to win this game. Crazy part about it was, before I looked at these stats, I was going to make a prediction that the Jets will pull out a very close and ugly game, 19-20 to 13. And then I saw these stats, and it just made me feel a little bit better about my prediction. So I'm going to stick to that. I think the Jets are the better team, on paper. The Jets are loaded with talent. I mean, besides, having, really, really good young defense. I mean, there are studs all over the field for the Jets. I mean, Quincy Williams is playing at a Pro Bowl level. People are saying that he's up there, with Fred Warner as two of the top linebackers. He plays with speed. He plays with passion. I think he's learned how to control his speed the last couple of years, and he's playing a lot smarter within the system, and it's showing. Obviously, you have Quinton Williams, his brother, who's a stud on the line. And then, we talked about Sauce and DJ Reed, in the secondary. But Tony Adams has certainly been playing some really good football at the safety position as well. But offensively, I think the key to the Jets' success is just feeding Brees Hall. I mean, that's no secret. I mean, they got to find a way to get him the football, to get him at least 20, 25 touches a game. He is explosive. He is a home run hitter, and can hit a home run at any time during the game. You just got to keep feeding the man. And I do see, and the thing that really concerns me about this game is Wink Martindale is going to blitz the hell out of the Jets. If there's anything that I could take out of that preseason game, and the game last week against the Commanders, where he blitzed at least, I believe it was 60% of the time, he is going to blitz Zach Wilson, who is known to struggle under heavy blitz pressure. And that's going to be the key. The Jets are banged up on the offensive line. Joe Tippmann has been ruled out. Schweitzer will probably get the start in his place. He didn't look great against the Eagles, but he did hold his own. But at the end of the day, I think the key to the game, and I've said this all year with Zach, is that he's got to get rid of the football quickly, and get it to the hands of his playmakers. The easiest way to be able to not stop a blitz, but to be able to control or combat a blitz is to be able to work that short passing game, the slants, the screen passes, the bubble screens, things of those nature. Plays like that is really what I believe is going to be able to combat that blitz, because for a fact that Wink Martindale is going to throw a lot of different exotic blitzes at Zach in hopes that he makes a lot of mistakes. And that's the thing with Zach. I mean, like I said, he has all the ability, the arm strength, the athleticism, but he still has an issue seeing the field. There's been three different announcers, three different quarterbacks, 3 different weeks that have called out, plays on the field where he's just not seeing open guys. But to his credit, his footwork has gotten a lot better. He isn't turning the football over. He has made some really, really good throws the last few weeks. That Chiefs game was really, really impressive. He definitely outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that game. But the last 2 games, again, he's just done enough not to lose his games. Right now, he's basically along for the ride. When in essence, we're going to really, really need him to step up and start taking the driver's seat and driving the offense and helping this team win a little bit more on the offensive side. But if he can control that blitz, get rid of the football quickly, in my opinion, take off and run a little bit and use his legs, same way Tyrod Taylor does, and kind of run a little bit and add that dimension that might be able to open up the middle of the field for him a little bit and make things easier, and maybe cause the Giants to kind of sit back a little bit and not blitz as much because they have to spy him. I think that's the key, but it all depends on the type of decisions that he's going to make when he drops back into the pocket. But getting the ball to Brees and certainly getting the ball to Garrett Wilson will make him a very, very smart and successful quarterback, because those guys are absolute studs. The Jets have weapons, and it seems like he also has some rapport. He's gained some rapport with Conklin over the middle and gained some trust there. So if he can utilize the tight end, as he's been doing in key plays the last few games, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be able to score at least 19, 20, 21 points, which I think will get us over the hump. As much as the Giants, as good as the Giants have been playing the last couple of weeks, I really, really don't see how they can score more than a couple of touchdowns against this defense. But again, anything's possible. And when a Jet-Giant game, when those two teams are on the field, because the emotions are going to be high, and both those teams are going to want to win for bragging rights in New York City and the stadium and all that other stuff. So it should be a good game. Like I said, I'm going to predict that the Jets win an ugly, close game. I'm going to say 19-20 to 13 will be my prediction, but we'll see what happens. But anybody got any comments or if you like this video, feel free to comment below. I definitely, if you enjoyed it, we're going to be doing a lot more of these videos down the road. We're going to be talking some Jets. If you're an NBA fan, we're going to be talking some basketball. I'm a Net fan, so we're going to be talking about some Nets basketball, but we'll certainly add in some other topics, some more important, some important topics as they come along around the league as well. And then boxing. I mean, that is one of my true passions. So we will be talking that boxing shit and posting some videos around boxing as well. In fact, tune in next week. I'm going to be putting a video out which I will explain, in my opinion, the state of boxing. I've had a lot of debates in the past couple of months in some of my boxing chat groups on social media, with a lot of people saying that boxing is dying. I do not believe it's dying by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's been a little bit tainted, obviously, but I don't think it's dying at all. I think boxing is alive and well, but I do think that there's a lot of things that can be done differently to make boxing even better and better, to the point that where it was, in the 80s and the 90s, where people say was probably the most exciting, era in boxing, because the best fought the best, and that can't be argued. So I'm going to be giving my takes. There's a lot of different takes that I have on why boxing is the way it is, and giving my thoughts on how things can change. So definitely tune into that in the next week. But again, definitely subscribe. We're going to be doing this on the regular, and I appreciate everybody's support. So this is Johnny from the Man Cave signing out. Let's go Jets, baby.